From what we heard, it must be really, you have to be brave to act journalism, free journalism and free expression of opinion in Turkey. Is it really that bad?
It is very bad. You can see in the list, like RSF, we are each year it's getting worse, and it's really very hard for working journalists who are trying to keep up with the news and reporting, and especially if when you have friends and colleagues who are in prison or accused or harassed or targeted, because once it starts with targeting, then the next, the police can raid your house, or you can be accused of being a terrorist. So it's only because you are a journalist. It's not the best situation, I have to say. Especially, I have many colleagues who have been accused and tried, but the Cumhuriyet trial was especially. I had so many friends who were accused with such, I would say, tragic accusations, and the whole trial, I think it will be written in history. The idea is, I guess, they cannot arrest or detain every journalist, but to spread the fear and to make you afraid just not to make any news. That's the idea, which in part became the truth.
So do you think that there can be a solution? For example, the elections could bring a solution to this issue?
I hope there is still hope, but frankly, I don't think that the elections in the short term and the results will be a big change in the terms of press freedom, because these problems they didn't start with the coup attempt. They started just way before that. And they are very grounded. Plus, the mass media is owned by big companies who are very close to the president and the government. So it won't go away in a day, but I just want to hope that things will be better and that we as journalists will work in a more free environment.
Could you give examples of the worst thing that could happen to a journalist who's independently reporting, and the least important thing that they could do to him that would scare him and stop him? Like the worst they could do to you, the least?
Well, the worst is actually to get killed, because there are some journalists who got lost, but it's not talked about. But some, not journalists, but distributors, for example, Kurdish newspaper distributors, or Syrian journalists who got killed in Turkey, but it's not talked about. That's the most extreme part. And in the 90s, we had a time where journalists were killed, and it could happen again. It doesn't mean that it's totally lost. But at the moment, mostly it's like being imprisoned, like the Altan brothers, for life. Imprisonment might be the worst thing, I guess. The least what could happen is being targeted on the social media and being jobless. And many of the journalists actually stay to have a low profile, and they are trying to not put themselves into risk. So that means you cannot inform the public as you should. So they are choosing other jobs, or just they go back to their summer houses and maybe just farm a little bit. That's the least what can happen.